You'd think we're ready, but we're not. Because we have some meat and potatoes, but I want to add some legumes. And so what I've chosen, and I choose this for almost every meat, is a little bit of black beans in their broth. And when you're done here, you're going to have a gravy that's unreal. So I'm going to sprinkle some black beans around this. And the black beans will go around the side. And it's a one-man meal, so it's a half a can. If you're a bigger man, then maybe you might want to, well, I don't know. If anyone who wants more than a half a can I think maybe you're overeating if you're taking more than half a can. So, alright, so, as I said, we're spreading the black beans around the side. I'm sorry, my thumbnail's a bit dirty. I was changing out a power steering unit in my van earlier today, and I got a little bit dirty. I was covered with oil 2 hours ago. I mean, I was literally covered with oil and axle grease 2 hours ago. Just trying to change out a power steering unit, which I've been working on for 2 days. We're not doing a how-to video on that because I've already found one and I used this other guy's YouTube video on it, so he's better than me. Surprisingly, he used the same technique that I did. Okay, so here are the black beans. You notice I'm not dropping the broth in there, I'm actually draining it out. Because the broth contains seasoning. That's the thing about when you buy the beans, they contain their own broth, their own seasoning. But you notice that we have our own seasoning already. We don't need any more seasoning. So we don't need the broth. And it contains water, but we already have water too. Now there's one more ingredient here that's going to really top off this dinner and make it great. And that is going to be, you ready for it? A little bit of mozzarella. You're going to love this. Now, sometimes I use cheddar and sometimes I use mozzarella. Today, I'm feeling mozzarella. So we're going to drop a little bit of mozzarella on this. And you'll notice this dish is getting really full. This is going to be a big meal just for one guy. Just for me. Alright, and I'm not stingy with it either. You know, I have a whole big 8-ounce bag of this and I'm using all of about 2 or 3 ounces. So, okay. Now this is almost ready to go into the oven. We have one more thing that needs to be done. You guessed it. This is not going to taste any good at all unless we cover it. Now I'm going to cover it. Yep. You have to be careful on this part. Is you cover only the sides and the ends, because if you cover too much, it's not going to get any heat. So the aluminum foil actually deflects away heat. So we only want to cover the sides and the ends. But what this is going to do is this is going to get very hot, and it's going to create a lot of steam inside this bowl here, inside this dish. And that will do a couple of things. As I said, it's going to steam your food. It's going to steam your food. It will steam the beans. It will steam and bake. It will actually cook the potatoes inside there, the diced potatoes. All right, so we're ready to go into the oven right now. And I think I'm going to leave this meal in about 35 minutes at 400 degrees. So, here we go. Oven door opening. And I should use gloves. And here it goes. Now Now here's something very important that you should not forget. Either make a note of the time or set a timer. Okay, so I've got a 60-minute timer. I'm going to set it for 35 minutes. Okay, so what do y'all want to do for 35 minutes? Okay, I have one more glass of wine available to me. I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to wait for 35 minutes and then, you know, it's probably just going to be like 5 seconds for you. So, 35 minutes. Oh, okay. All right. That means it's done. I can't stress the importance of using oven mitts, and usually I put the oven mitt. If I only have one, I put one in the right hand. The other one is used to control. Make sure you have a nice place, safe place. I've got a ceramic counter here, so nothing's going to catch on fire. The first thing is to shut off the oven. Turn it off. Remember to turn off the oven. Okay, so let's get the food out. And I can smell it. I can smell it from here. Be very careful. Watch the animals. Be very careful not to drop anything and not to burn your hands. Alright, so there, the food's out. Close the oven so nobody gets burned. And then at this point, everything is still hot. Everything is still, the aluminum foil you can touch not easily. You can listen. But you can, if you want, you can leave it for a little while and it'll still cook because everything is hot inside here. But you have to be careful pulling the aluminum foil away because inside there you find steam. Very, very hot steam. Okay, so I kind of want you to get a close-up look at this because this is really looks good. Okay. This is very delicious looking. And it smells absolutely amazing. You can see that everything is filled up. It's almost like a gravy. The fish is in here, it's at the bottom. I know it's cooked. And I can tell you from experience that this is going to be delicious because I've eaten a lot of meals just like this. So I'm going to take the aluminum foil. I know they don't like you to do this, but I'm going to recycle it anyway because it's aluminum. What I'll do with this is I'll let it set for a little bit, and then when the time comes, I will take this entire thing and I will find what you'll need to have for this is a spatula. And in order to handle this, you'll also need a glove. You can't just grab this with your hands because this is really, really hot. But you can use a spatula, and the first thing that comes out of here, being very careful not to throw everything onto the floor, you'll see the fish. There's the fish right there. And the rest of the meal is right here. And I'll just put that on the plate. Surround it just as I did on the inside here. Some of the water is still left over. Some of the oil is still left over, and there's no problem with that. because what we're going to do is we're going to spread it just as we did when we made this whole thing. I'm afraid I've dropped a little bit of food, but you see, we're not going to leave it just this way, right? Okay, I've got the spatula, and then what I'm going to do, I'll take this, and there's a little bit of gravy. Well, let's call it gravy, but this really is seasoned water oil. And we're going to drop that into the plate, just like that. Okay. And that'll do two things. It'll heat the plate up, and it'll also give you a bit of a gravy that you can dip your potatoes and your food into. It's not necessarily for you to eat that gravy because it's got some of this oil in it, which is calories. But everything in here is good, it's wholesome, it's delicious. And it's the question has come up. It didn't really come up. I mean, I think of it every evening. What are we going to have for drinks with dinner? I mean, right now dinner's cooking. It's been in the oven maybe 10 minutes. But I want to make something to go with my dinner. And we're not going to drink pre-processed sodas. We're not going to have Coke, Pepsi, or Tab, or other crap like that. We're going to have real drink. So, one of the things I like, I think is pretty healthy. Coffee, last I heard, coffee is healthy for you. Tomato juice is healthy. Milk is good, but it's a lot of calories. So everything here has calories, and I like cocoa. So we're gonna watch calories. Calories are gonna be the big count here. All right. So here's gonna be for dinner. Now I've already said I've got 2 glasses of wine. That's a lot of calories there. Actually, here's second glass of wine. So let's take a look and see what we can make. And one of the things I'm gonna have with my dinner is I'm gonna have some tomato juice. And I'm also going to get out a clean glass. Okay, so tomato juice in a clean glass. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of drinking water, which I've gotten at the grocery store. I'm going to pour this cup half full. And I do like the milk, but putting milk in here is probably a little bit much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in 2 silverware. A little bit of cocoa. This is natural, unsweetened. There's no sugar in this. Cocoa, and I'm going to take maybe a little over a level teaspoon. I'm going to drop it in here. Okay. And then a little bit of the special dark, and again, a little over a level teaspoon, drop that in there, okay? And then we're going to take a heaping teaspoon of coffee because, you know, what they say, it's good for you, but I don't know if it's good for you or not. It just says the recent research, who knows if that's true or not. I'm going with it. Alright, so 2 big sort of heaping teaspoons of coffee, and then this is some Carnation instant non-fat dry milk. Now, normally to make 1 glass of milk, you'd use maybe, I don't know, a bunch of this. But I'm not going to use a bunch of it because that's a lot of calories. I'm just going to use a heaping teaspoon. Actually, I could use maybe a heaping teaspoon and a half. This will give me some cream, and this is a full dairy creamer, okay? This is Carnation instant milk. It's dry milk, which of course you use to make the milk. But the thing is, the calories to give you a little bit of milk flavor aren't nearly as much as what you would get if you had a regular milk. Okay, so we're partway into this, and in order to make this, that cocoa is not going to mix with that water unless I heat it up. But I'm not done adding stuff to this. What I'm going to do in order to flavor this guy up just a little bit, I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, so in my coffee, cocoa, you see how little I'm using right there, a little bit of vanilla extract. You have to make sure that it contains no sugar. And it'll say it on the bottle, it'll say no sugar somewhere in here, sugar-free. Because a lot of it will have sugar in it. So you have to be careful what you're getting. Vanilla extract, and it should just be vanilla, pure vanilla extract, no sugar. A lot of these guys, they'll put sugar in it. It will contain alcohol, there's no two ways about that. But then I'm drinking alcohol anyway, so I don't care. And then, now normally I wouldn't add this until after I heat it up, but I'm going to add this up. What I'm adding here is just a pinch of cinnamon. Okay? Just a pinch. Just didn't even open. Do I have some cinnamon? Yes, I do. I have some open cinnamon right here. I'm just going to dust. Here's another thing that won't mix in with coffee unless you heat it up. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to drop it into the microwave oven for 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds later, this is done. I know it seems like it's less than 30 seconds, but that's just because I stopped the camera. I could have also edited, but now you see I've poured myself a glass of tomato juice. This is 50 calories. 50 calories. This is 20 calories. This might have a little bit here, about 20 or 30 calories right there. So my whole drink is, all my drinks are about 100 calories. And if I consider that I'm having 3 meals a day, 500 calories per meal, and my other food is probably around 400 calories easy. Although I've had 200 calories here, that's probably a little bit more than I should have. But you notice that 30 seconds in the microwave has dissolved all of the coffee. You see, you can't see the cinnamon is dissolved, the coffee is dissolved, the creamer is dissolved, the cocoa is all dissolved into this hot mix. And I'm going to make sure it stays dissolved for a few more minutes. Now, I'm not going to add anything else to this except a little bit of water to top this off. I still have a second glass of wine that I'm working on, but those are my drinks for dinner. Alternatively, one of the best drinks you can have for dinner, and I have this pretty often, is just, and you can have as much of this as you want, and it's low fat, is a plain old chilled water. And chilled water, you'd be surprised how good that tastes. But you get good drinking water that's neutrally balanced. It doesn't have an acidic or base flavor. You see, this is chilled, see? So there's dinner drinks. There are my drinks for dinner. And all this, about 200 calories, well, besides the glass of wine. 400 calories with the glass of wine. No, 100. 300 calories with 2 glasses of wine. So, very low calories in the drink, right? Take this out and it's ultra low calories. So, I think this is just about ready. I don't want to mix the cold water in with hot cocoa. This is cocoa coffee with a little bit of vanilla and milk flavoring. I'm going to top it off with just a little bit of water. Bring it up. And there you go. Ultra healthy drinks. Ultra healthy drink to go with dinner. And the important thing is you're not starving yourself, right? I mean, why starve yourself? Who wants mac and cheese for dinner? Good God. Dinner. Along with, of course, drinks. that we're going to have. Tomato juice, coffee, and ice cold water. Well, I'm Dr. Bob. That's a healthy dinner, and I'm going to have dinner and a movie. Y'all have a nice dinner as well. Treat yourself well, alright? There's no reason for you to live on macaroni and cheese with bologna. Have a good dinner. To have a good life. This is what's important. Enjoy life. It's Dr. Bob signing off. I hope you enjoy your dinner. Thanks for watching my program.